Hi, I'm Moore-Lindner with Moore-Lindner Engineering. We're a structural engineering consulting firm based in Matthews, North Carolina, just outside of Charlotte. We have fewer than 10 engineers on staff. We're small, and we're deliberately small. We like to keep a small staff. However, we do have registration in about 25 states and through several provinces in Canada. We've taken the early adopter approach on technology and software. So we were one of the first to pick up on Revit. We've been using it for about 5 years, both in a collaborative environment and on our own on projects. We take the same approach on IT, and that's what interested us in the cloud. We're a small firm, and as such we had kind of a mom and pop IT setup as well. We had one engineer that wore two hats, one as an engineer and then also as a kind of our de facto IT person. So we had billable time that was being lost to maintain our IT network. We got in touch with Advance2000 about this time last year, almost a year ago, and have worked through multiple proposals with them. They were very patient as far as meeting our needs on various scenarios. Our IT needs, we have a multiple laptop workforce, so we have no desktops. We like to have our engineers have the flexibility to work at home or on site, and the laptops needed to run the Revit software and some of our design software were necessarily high-end laptops. The latest cycle of laptops we bought were somewhere between $3,000 and $5,000 in order to run the software we needed. So going to the cloud enabled us to go to a much cheaper laptop, somewhere in the $1,000 to $1,500 range. Not only that, going to the cloud has also enabled our engineer slash IT person to remain more billable now. He spends much fewer hours on IT issues and rather goes right to, or spends time on billable work. Our business workflow has changed due to the cloud as well. Now we have reliable access to our data, mobile access to our data. We previously had been on a remote desktop type connection, a VPN connection, that allowed us to transfer files, but we couldn't work across the VPN. Now we're able to, anywhere that we have mobile access or wireless access even, to be able to access our full range of data. That's because the software is on Advance2000's machines, not just the data. Their machine is running it and pushing it through the pipe. So that's helped us quite a bit, in fact, on our Revit projects, whereas we had been working in shifts at the office with the central file the way it is. You had to check out files or check out portions of files. Now we're able to, workflow has changed for the better in particular. Instead of having to remain in the office to access the central file for Revit projects, we are able to access that remotely now without any hiccups at all. In fact, it's enabled us to be much more flexible on these projects and to have much more billable time on those projects, because the access to the central file is wherever we have a mobile broadband connection. As far as how we see this working into the future, we're working with a national retailer on several projects with consultants in offices across the country. These are Revit projects, so what that will help us do is maintain more of a live data flow rather than FTP uploads and downloads once or twice a week. We'll be able to share server space with them, either as them being part of the Advance2000 Cloud, or we have an extra seat, an extra station available within Advance2000, so if they're not in the system, they can log in as a guest on our account and work with us collaboratively in a live environment.
Okay, Matt. Hi, this is Chris France with Advance2000, and I was going to ask you a few questions that are coming in from all over the place about some of the more detailed technical questions on how you use your cloud, and why don't we start with that. Could you tell me How did you migrate to the cloud? Which services are you currently using of Advance2000 private cloud service?
Sure. We started with Microsoft Exchange, and we moved our services from our local accounts to Advance2000's hosted Exchange. That went really smoothly, and then we started looking at the cloud services. We did that in two phases. One was moving our data over and using their actual cloud services. Right behind that, we wanted to check the broadband connection and to make sure we had enough data flow between our location and their servers. So we added on phones as well. It worked out great for us. They were Advance2000 was anticipated all our needs. They had the rollout ready to go. When it came time, there was about a week or two of prep prior to the actual switchover, and we were expecting a disaster, frankly, just because we switched all of our computers and our phone system within a week, and it went smoother than we could have ever expected.
Great. What size projects do you use? Are they large, small, mix and match?
Well, we're a smaller firm, so we're not doing a lot of towers or 5-6 million square foot facilities, but we are doing a fair number, 100,000 square feet. We're working on a project now that's only modeling for a concrete subcontractor out of DC that's 10 stories, and it's very detailed. That's the nature of our business, is we like to model everything we can fit in the model. So our models are typically in the 50 to 60 meg range. We are linking in models that are over 100 to 200 meg, and several models of that size from vendors, as-built surveys, laser scans, that sort of thing. So we might have 400 or 500 meg of data in one file at one time. There hasn't been any noticeable lag across the cloud, across the pipe, so we've been very pleased with that.
Good. How about have you ever seen the cloud server or service go down, and do you worry about being cut off from your infrastructure?
Sure. Yeah, that was one of our big concerns, in fact, and we decided that we would do the internet option. So we are connected through an internet cable through Roadrunner's business class, a cable modem. There were options to connect directly to Advance2000. We decided we would take the more economical approach first, and we've been pretty satisfied with that. There have been a couple of glitches on the cable provider's end, but that had to do with a switch here on our internal hardware that was rectified the next day. So as far as downtime, there really wasn't any. We were a little sluggish on one day, but we have since figured out how to correct that in-house when needed. So we haven't experienced really any downtime at all to speak of.
Great. Do you have any concerns with security? Do you feel more or less secure being in the Advance2000 private cloud?
Well, given the fact that I was actually hacked the week before we switched over, and some malware was put on our server through my machine, is ironic. We certainly feel more safe. We are, again, a small firm. The IT infrastructure we had in place beforehand, while serviceable, is not nearly as locked down and protected as Advance2000's facilities.
Okay. Well, that's all the questions I have, Matt. Do you have any final thoughts for the viewers of this video?
I guess I should, but I think I'm good.
All right. Well, thank you.